What happens when one of the biggest stars in tennis reaches a moment where the pressure becomes almost impossible to hide? Coco Gauff has experienced the highs, the setbacks, the expectations. And now, an emotional moment in Cincinnati has fans talking. But what made this moment especially powerful was the way Gauff appeared to turn that emotion into gratitude and faith. From the tension on the court to a deeply personal message, this was more than just another tennis moment. So what really happened? And why is Coco's emotional turnaround connected with so many fans? Stay with us, because this story goes far beyond the scoreboard. Coco Gauff has become one of the most recognizable young stars in tennis. Every tournament brings enormous expectations. Every match is analyzed. Every victory creates headlines. And every difficult moment can become a major talking point. But behind the powerful serves, explosive movement, and competitive intensity is an athlete who has openly shown that tennis can be an emotional journey. The Cincinnati Open once again put Gauff in that spotlight. This wasn't simply about winning or losing. It was about resilience. It was about perspective. And for many fans, it became a reminder that even elite athletes can experience moments when emotions take over. That is what makes this story so compelling. The pressure around Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff doesn't walk onto a tennis court like an unknown player anymore. She walks onto the court carrying expectations from fans around the world. Whenever Gauff competes, people expect big performances. That level of attention can be motivating, but it can also create enormous pressure. Every missed opportunity becomes a talking point. Every difficult match becomes a test of character. And every emotional reaction can quickly spread across social media. Yet Gauff has repeatedly demonstrated an ability to regroup. That ability may be one of the most important parts of her development as a professional. Because tennis isn't only about technical skill. It's also about handling frustration, managing nerves, recovering from mistakes, and finding the confidence to keep going. And that emotional side of the game was particularly visible during this Cincinnati chapter. The emotional moment. At a certain point, the competitive intensity seemed to give way to something more personal. The emotion surrounding Gauff became impossible for many viewers to ignore. For fans watching closely, it wasn't simply another reaction from a tennis player. It felt like a moment of reflection. The kind of moment where an athlete steps away mentally from the noise and remembers what truly matters. And this is where Gauff's faith became part of the conversation. Her references to God and gratitude have long been meaningful to many of her supporters. Instead of allowing a difficult moment to define the entire story, the focus shifted toward appreciation. Appreciation for the opportunity. Appreciation for the journey. And appreciation for the people who continue to support her. That change in perspective is what many fans interpreted as the real turnaround. Why the tribute to God mattered. For Gauff, faith has been a recurring part of how she talks about her life and career. That doesn't mean every match becomes a spiritual story. But when an athlete publicly expresses gratitude to God during an emotional period, fans often connect with the message on a deeper level. And that's exactly what happened here. The attention wasn't only on Coco Gauff, the tennis player. It was on Coco Gauff, the person. A young athlete dealing with pressure, expectations, victories, disappointments, and everything happening away from the court. The message many fans took from the moment was simple. The result matters, but it isn't everything. That perspective can be incredibly powerful in professional sports. From emotion to resilience. The most interesting part of Gauff's story isn't simply that she became emotional. It's what came next. Great athletes aren't defined by never struggling. They're defined by what they do after difficult moments. Gauff has repeatedly shown that she can reset. She can lose momentum and find it again. She can face criticism and continue competing. She can experience disappointment and still return to the court with determination. That resilience has become one of the defining characteristics of her career. And Cincinnati provided another opportunity to see that side of her personality. The emotional moment became less about vulnerability and more about strength. Because sometimes showing emotion doesn't mean an athlete is falling apart. Sometimes it means they're processing everything and preparing to move forward. Why fans are responding so strongly? One reason this moment resonated is because Coco Gauff feels relatable despite being a global sports star. Millions of people watching tennis have experienced pressure in their own lives. They understand what it feels like to have expectations placed on them. They understand disappointment. They understand moments when confidence disappears and has to be rebuilt. That's why Gauff's emotional journey can feel bigger than tennis. Fans aren't just watching a professional athlete hit a tennis ball. They're watching someone navigate the same basic emotions that people experience every day. And when Gauff turns toward gratitude and faith, many supporters see a message they can relate to. Final message. Coco Gauff's Cincinnati story isn't just about tennis. It's about pressure. It's about emotion. It's about resilience. And for many fans, it's also about faith and gratitude. The powerful part of the moment isn't simply that Coco became emotional. It's that she found a way to turn that emotion into perspective. And that is something every athlete and every fan can understand. Because championships are won on the court. But confidence, character, and resilience are built through everything that happens beyond the scoreboard. So, what did you think of Coco Gauff's emotional turnaround in Cincinnati? Do you believe moments like this can make a champion even stronger? And how powerful was her message of gratitude and faith? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next major Coco Gauff update. Because Coco's journey is far from over, and the next chapter could be even bigger. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.